but there you go. It's used up all the mineral feed. We're now up to 173,000 litres of food in the cow shed. I'm guessing it's not going to run at this time. $173,000 litres of food. That's going to last 15 cows a couple of years, I would guess. Oh, I missed that one completely. It's okay. Now the other thing I've noticed with FS22 is it does tell you things if you're doing it with the right tool. So if you use bale spikes, it will tell you how much bales you're carrying, so long as they're spiked. If you try and do a fancy 2 on the spikes and 1 balanced on top, then it won't tell you about the 1 balanced on top. But using pallet forks to spike bales will not tell you the volume, the capacity of the bales you're running. So I tend to, nowadays I tend to prefer running with the right tool for the right job. Okay, 2 more. Guessing you're the close one, so let's stab you with the front spike. And I'm thinking about maybe adding some more sort of realism style mods. I'm not sure if they'll make me more frustrated, but for example, where I stabbed the bale and then got some wheel spin, there is a mod that will churn up the ground and thus destroy the grass if you wheel spin your tractor on it. There's another mod that puts out more dirt as you're driving around, if you don't like the amount of dirt that currently gets thrown up. And that one, if you set it to the highest levels, will actually make the tractor disappear into a cloud of dust. Okay, we'll lower that. I think we'll call that good for now. So, I'm going to drop the spike again over here. Drop the rear one over here. Oops. Hello, go. Thank you. We will keep the loader arms attached. I think for the most part I'm trying to keep the loader arms attached because they're generally more complicated to attach than the attachments are. Oh, engine off. And we'll jump to the Massey Ferguson. So, time to put this away. So we now have a clear field. Actually, before we run anywhere, pH value's okay, nitrogen value's bad. So it could do with, you know, in effect, if we had a slurry spreader, we could run a slurry spreader over this and improve the nitrogen. But as it is, I think that is probably going to impact our environmental score at the moment because of the bad nitrogen level on that field. So I'll try and get this in that shed. Well, as I said, I expect this tractor to work a little bit better with the rake into the shed. That's off. Okay. I'm going to stick the arms back on this. Oh. A little bit of delay there because I haven't rendered this tractor since the update. And slide that in there. Actually not so much of a... I know some of the loader arms have you know, connectors and wires and what have you to plug in. That one doesn't seem to have much in the way of that, so that's the thing. Put this back in the shed. Kind of would like to have a few more sheds with doors on now, but I'll have to consider what I'm doing with this yard. Obviously the two sheds over there could go and be replaced by something with doors, but they also form up the the wall of the pigsty, or the pig area enclosure. Okay, drop that. I'll grab the pallet fork. Not the pallet fork, the bale spike. And we have 4 more pallets of tomatoes. Because we skipped, yeah, we sold on day 2, so we skipped a day, so 4. And what I forgot to do is move this thing. This is going to be awkward. The problem I have here, you know, it's a 2-wheel drive, and they're not very big wheels, and I don't have a lot of ground clearance. So if you take this out to a field, it generally doesn't want to move very well. And as I pointed out earlier, there's a lip at the edge here, which sometimes it doesn't like clearing, so it's kind of a problem. Okay, let's stab a bale. So now we have 3 loader vehicles. It's loading bales onto bale trailers and the like is going to be a little bit easier. Come on. And yes, we got our tractor stuck. Oh, I am allowed to drive it while it's got a bale on, but that's good. Get that straightened up again. That was a bit of a mess. But yeah, this is a little bit more manoeuvrable than the tractor. So we can get the bales loaded up a little bit quicker using this. Obviously, telehandler would be ideal, but they're kind of expensive as a tractor in some cases. So I'm happy with this thing for now. Skid steers, again, they don't have the reach. Because this has a telescopic arm, I can reach the far side of the bale trailer. But something a skid steer can't do. I mean, it's useful for some things, but other things it's just, yeah, it's good for lifting, not for reaching. This will reach as well and does have a good weight to the back of it. I mean, we're handling these bales and they're not light. Oops. Still, skid steer is not really a piece of equipment I've used much. I think I did have a look at Black Sheep's other French map, not Oldstream Farm. Came out in 17 originally, towards the end of the series, and again in 19. Quite a big map. And a lot of people played it. It had a sort of a twin level hay shed or bale shed where you accessed it from the back of the farm. And I did use a skid steer on that, but kind of wasn't. And you wanted to use a skid steer on that because you didn't want the height of a tractor or telehandler getting in the way. But it's probably the only series I did, and I just couldn't get into that map, so I ended up, I probably played a couple of hours on it and then said, yeah, I'm not really feeling it. I need a different map to play on. So immediate plans for this series, I will probably do a couple of contracts off camera during the course of this week just to build up our money because we're back down to 11,000. But we did buy a tractor at a bale shredder. I'll probably shred the rest of the straw bales. I'm not going to move into October because we must deal with the weeds in our barley field, and I'd like to do that on camera. What else do we need to do? We need to fertilize a couple of fields as well. I may do 51 just so that it's fertilized for when we cut it, because I think it's a little bit light. Definitely do 52 because that is seriously badly fertilized. 0. And then we'll be back, I'm pretty sure, same time next week. And during the course of next week, we'll probably mow 51. We'll do some field work on 50, which is where the barley is. And see what's in the store for sale. Again, we've only got 11,000, so it's not like we're looking to buy some expensive kit in the next few days. But if I can do a couple of baling contracts, that'll get us back up to 50,000. And I may consider replacing those hedges that magically disappeared with the map update. Oh, magic beaming bales. Just close enough for the unload detect. It's kind of weird, you know, bale spikes. I suppose, no, back in 19, if the bale was on the spike, it was on the spike. You had to unspike it for it to do anything, like unload into a feed trough or whatever. But for 22, because the bales are variable size, and if you've got a small feed mixer, sometimes you don't want the entire bale dropped into the feed mixer. Bales will unload from a spike, and the unload detect area of the Anderson extractor is interesting. If I get it in the right place and just drive up, it will magically beam off the spike into it. And other times I have to, you know, drag it off in order for it to actually unload or load into the wrapper. Okay, last bale. So 28 bales wrapped. Yay! Funny, you can load this up with the engine off, but as soon as you get in it, it's, oh, I'm doing things and the engine's not running. Real life or real world, it should be turned on when you're wrapping, because obviously that's what's running all of the mechanism that does the wrapping. It is a cool machine. And we might be able to just about, now you see the wheels are just spinning. Anyway, engine off, we're done with that. And we'll put the spike back over here. I really need a rack to put these things on, I think. Farm decorations. I think I will put some tomatoes on the flatbed. The low loader. We'll have to grab more later, but for now we can grab the 4 we have. Because we have to make at least one sale of tomatoes this month. I think we could possibly, I mean, we could sell more frequently, but at least, I'm saying at least once a month. But I don't, because we haven't sold any. We could sell these today and then wait until October 3rd to sell the next batch, because that's still, I sold some in September. I need to sell some in October time frame, but there we go. Okay, what I want to try and do is that. I'm not sure, but you might be able to get two pallets or 3 pallets side by side on that trailer. Definitely not producing enough for the big trailer yet. So as far as the manure production goes, I'm guessing because we didn't have any straw before the beginning of today, the fact that there is now straw in the barn doesn't count for today's production in the barn. But as soon as I sleep and wake up tomorrow, there will be, if I wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, there will be 8 hours of manure in the manure pit. At least that's my suspicions. Okay. Those on there. See if I can make it all tidy like. Nice. Okay. We'll lift that up, suck the arm in, and put this in there next to the fluffer. Alrighty, put the bar down and engine off, jump out, and we'll strap down the tomatoes. Awesome. So, there you have it. Dude, clear off. "28 bales wrapped. We have a new tractor, new to us tractor, which is, it was one of the options I was thinking of, but it wasn't necessarily my most preferred option, but it came up, so it's good enough. I'm pretty much not expecting anything there. And 3 hours, 28 bales produced, harvested almost 12 hectares, and drove 27 miles. Nice. What was I looking up? These. So we've got a bunch of $10,000 worth. Oh, there's a 13 there. So we've got about 6 contracts in the grass cutting. That one works. That one. That one. Ooh, I like that one. Oh, because I could do that one with the big M and then just run around with a baler straight behind it. Oh no, you need to TED it. Well, it was a fault. This one not inclined because this mower that you get on these contracts does not does not merge, so you have to run the merger, and that's the one-sided merge. Actually, let's go back to the store, because I have been playing around with windrowers lately, and this one is a pain because you have to run it down one side and then come back the other way to make a double row. This one is much easier because it rows to the middle. So you run up, you run down, and you make one row. You can follow it with a baler, so that makes things easy. This one here is a single-sided one again, but it's got 3 vanes. So you run it down one way and you get 9.7 meters of product into a row, and then you run it straight back down the other side, so you're ending up with about 18 meters worth of road material. But you really need to use GPS in order to get that row the width that a baler likes. If you don't use GPS, you can end up with double width rows, and then all bets are off. This one is a 4 vane. That one too we got with the last patch, 1.7 patch, is 4. I believe it's a little bit wider, 15 meters. And then that's the same as the Vicon. I don't think I've loaded the Vicon one onto this game save. No, we don't have the Vicon one. It is available. And then you've got the rake, which is very low horsepower. Anyway, so we will be back next week. Thank you all for watching, and well, for right now, have a good weekend. I am out of here.